warned him not to misquote James 1:13. I guess it fell on deaf ears. He said, see, God can't be tempted with evil. That's what James 1:13 says. But Jesus, being a true man, can be tempted. Folks, can you just simply read the context? There's two ways in which a person can be tempted. Internally and externally. James 1:13 is talking about desires that you have, that if you act upon, can cause you to succumb to temptation and sin. Read it, it's there. There's nothing within God that would cause him to desire something sinful, thereby stumbling. But it's not saying that people can't try to tempt God. All throughout the Bible, people are tempting God. And he's saying it's a different word. No, it's not. The Hebrew translated tempt or test, it's the same Hebrew word. The Greek word translated tempt or test is the same Greek word. Numbers 14:22. God says, the Israelites tempted me 10 times. So according to him, God must be a man, even in the Old Testament, because God can't be tempted, only a man can. That's Numbers 14:22. Deuteronomy 6:16. It says, do not tempt Yahweh your God as you tempted him in Massah. According to him, only a man can be tempted. Since Yahweh can be tempted, he is no God, he's a man. Do you really want to argue that way? But it gets even better for me and really bad for him. Psalm 106:14. Psalm 106:14. It says the Israelites tempted God in the desert. Sound familiar? There was someone else who was tempted in the desert. Jesus of Nazareth. But according to his logic, if you are tempted, you can't be God. Yahweh was tempted, therefore he just argued himself out of Christianity. Why are you a Christian? End up a Buddhist or a Hindu or an atheist. Because if God can't be God, if he's tempted, then Yahweh can't be God. So let's start worshiping Allah of the Quran. But then Job chapter 2 verse 3. Job chapter 2 verse 3. There God himself says, in heaven, he says to Satan, you incited me against Job. You, Satan, incited me against Job. That verb incited is used in 1 Chronicles 21 verse 1, where it says Satan incited David to number the children of Israel. According to his logic, since Satan incited God in heaven, that means God can't be in heaven. Then what is he? What is he if he's not God? What is the point? Tempting God is one thing. Getting God to succumb to that temptation is another thing altogether. All that the Bible is saying is that Jesus was tempted in every way, but because he's truly God in the flesh, it was impossible for him to succumb. Just like the Father, possible for him to succumb. The Spirit, impossible for him to succumb. That people try to tempt the Father, the Son, and Spirit, it's quite clear. Yahweh was tempted, Jesus was tempted, surprise, surprise. Acts 5:9, Sapphira, Peter says, how dare you tempt the Spirit of the Lord? But according to him, if the Spirit of the Lord can be tempted, the Spirit of the Lord can't be God. Then what is he? The human Jesus? Is that what you want to argue? So again, that argument is not a valid argument. And John 5:19 puts the icing on the cake. John 5:19 says, truly, truly, I say to you, the Son cannot do a single thing on his own initiative. Notice this. The Son cannot do a single thing on his own initiative, which hopefully he'll bring up in the cross-examination, because that's a powerful passage, shows that the Son, as the Son, is God, distinct from the Father. Truly, truly, I say to you, the Son can do not a single thing on his own initiative. He can only do what he sees the Father doing. For whatever the Father does, the Son does likewise. If Jesus could sin, so could the Father. Because notice the language. It's inescapable, folks. The Son can only do what the Father does. Nothing more, nothing less. So if the Son can sin, that means his Father, the one he believes to be the true God, can sin in heaven. Because Jesus says, I can only do what he does, nothing else, nothing more. That again proves my point, that just because Jesus can be tempted, doesn't mean he's only a man. Any more that the Father can be tempted proves that he's only a man. Any more that the Spirit of God can be tempted proves he's only a man. This is butchering the Bible, not allowing the Bible to explain what God is, who he is, and what he's like. He says that